You know what I mean? Part of my childhood entertainment on Saturday night, man. Without further ado, man, Friends Oquendo, man. How you feeling, brother?
Thank you, brother, for having me on the show, man. I feel wonderful. And, even though it's freezing out here in Chicago, but hey, this is where I'm from.
Man, I genuinely appreciate you coming in here, man. And as I said in the intro, man, you was a great part of my childhood, man. And
Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you
you
for
know,
having me.
we're roughly in the same age. I remember you as an amateur, man, beating up every.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was a big boxing fan. After the '84 Olympics, I just dived into into boxing. You know what I mean? And
Oh, wow.
I remember hearing about you. You know, I'm 43. I think you were 47.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow. Okay, okay.
and I was like, man, they got this kid named Frez Oquendo. He's knocking out everybody. You know what I mean? And,
Wow, the shorty. So you
I mean,
remember when I won the National Golden Gloves with
yeah,
Floyd in '93 in Little Rock? He was
yeah, I
16.
remember all of
I
that.
was 19 years old. We were whooping grown men people at the U.S.
Mhm.
Army, the
I,
all-service champions. Crazy. Me and Floyd seen each other the other day, and he was telling that story to my son. He's like,
oh,
man, we were
oh,
young teenagers whooping grown men. It's crazy. You remember
yeah,
that?
yeah. I
Wow.
think you might have lost 3 or 4 or 5 fights or something in the amateurs. How many amateur fights you lose?
Just five,
Yeah,
five. Yeah,
exactly. I remember.
yeah. Wow. Okay,
Man. It's been
okay.
some time. And before we go knee deep in it, you got a great nonprofit, man, giving back to the community. I heard you on Drew
Thank
Titan show about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, and you doing great things in Chicago, man.
Thank you, brother. That's my passion. My dad, God bless his soul, he's the one that helped me, make this transition. Once, I need the game, but even while I'm still in the game, God's blessed me to get, a lot of my soldiers ready to get these kids in the streets, off the streets, because I grew up in the Chicago housing projects, one of the worst ones, Cabrini Green, Latham Homes, those are my crosstown childhood. And,
Mm.
even though I was born in Puerto Rico, but, my mom came over to give us a better life. And unfortunately, at that time, the projects in Chicago was pretty rough.
Hmm. Yeah, man. And on behalf of the barbershop, we appreciate you dedicating your career to the sport of boxing, man. And
Thank you.
you
Thank you.
started off the no problem. You started off the show with a Floyd story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we might as well just dive into that, man.
All right,
Uh,
cool.
you and Floyd, man, how did that relationship begin? How are y'all today?
Oh, do you guys follow me? Do you follow me on Instagram by
I
any
will
chance?
after today. I will after today for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, you see on my last couple of Instagram posts, I've seen Roy a lot. Well, not Roy. I'm sorry. He's one of many other great grand champions that are dear friends of mine. But Floyd, he always opened the door to me, and he heard through Nate Jones, who's my trainer, who's my former arch
Chicago.
rival,
Yep.
his former Olympic teammate. He won the bronze medal. Nate beat me in the finals to go to the Olympics. So we got a lot of history. Stripped out now. He's one of my main trainers for the past 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. Nate Jones.
Wow.
But Floyd, always with open arms, man. Nate just told him, listen, Fresno Kendall's coming, in town. We got to show him love. And Floyd was like, no hesitation. Oh, Fred, of course. I mean, because like I said, I knew Floyd before Nate met him. Nate met him the year after,
Uh-huh.
because that year I fought Nate in the Golden Glove Championship, and I'm thinking I'm the star. Didn't take training, seriously. That's when I was introduced to all this knucklehead stuff. You're a teenager, you want to experiment stupid stuff, and I got caught up in that for a split moment, and that would cause me to go to the Olympics. But Nate ended up edging me, 3-2 decision to go to the National Golden Glove Championships just back in the '96, and it was a blessing in disguise. It humbled me.
Yeah.
And here I am, years later, decades later, and Floyd, through my partner Nate Jones, who's my trainer, for the last 15 years of my career, opened the doors for me, and he heard about my foundation. So all my youth that doing a little boxing, actually all my youth from the high school, the grammar schools, because they hired my services for 3 high schools and a big middle school.
Wow.
So a lot of those kids went with me to Vegas with me, Nate, and some other Nate's fighters. Nate got his own little foundation as well. But yeah, we ended up having a great time. The kids having a lifetime experience, especially my son, Fred Jr.
Right.
He's a videographer, and
Uh-huh.
man, Floyd showed him nothing but love, and that's what Floyd was telling the story. That man, I've been knowing your dad since I was 16. He
Wow.
was 19. He was whooping grown men. You know, U.S. All Service Heavyweight Champ. Your dad whooped. I whooped the 106 at the time. He beat Eric Morrell. He beat a lot of other top fighters. And he was only a 16-year-old from Michigan.
Right.
And man, the rest was history. And man, he remembers that like it was yesterday. He was telling the story to my son.
Man, that's beautiful, man. Legends never die, man. Legends never die.
You're right.